going. So, good morning, hello, good afternoon, good evening to some of you from anywhere around the world, whether you're watching live or watching on the replay on YouTube. This is Andrew David. This is the high performance call for Blake Newbar's partner program. Now, today I want to talk about a topic that I know I'm going to say some stuff and some of you are going to shake your head. You go, nope, not possible. He's full of it. This mindset stuff, blah, blah, blah. Some of you are going to love it. Some of you are going to hate it. I want to know your feedback. So buckle up. And please, by all means, participate today so that we can get into some stuff. So let me pin myself so you can see. All right. So how we walk into life and the vision that we have, the paradigm that we have plays a much larger role than a lot of us give credit to. And I think that's not controversial at all. And I can say that without any kind of issues. How many of you guys remember looking at these types of things at some point? Have you seen these? And I know that horrible right now the way this image is, but everybody know what these are? Have any of you guys seen these? Okay, so they're these magical eye tests. They're these 3D images. What happens is you can get these posters or you can get them printed on pages and you walk up and you can look at it. And if you stare at it the right way, and obviously this one isn't going to work because it's distorted from me transferring it over. But I challenge you guys to go get some of these. And the point is, you're going to look at it and you look at it a certain way and you let your eyes kind of shift focus. And as it shifts focus, this 3D image pops out in front of you. And I remember as a kid, my dad kind of got on this kick. He and my older sister, and they would get these. And he got several posters that he would put them up. And my sister had, 3, 4, 5 of them around her room. And then my younger brother got one. And I kept looking at these and I couldn't for the life of me see anything at all. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I don't know what I'm looking at. And I would stand there, legitimately standing in front of this poster for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right? And I'm standing there and I'm doing this. And I'm doing this, and you're opening your eyes, and you're squinting, and you're focusing, and you're looking back and forth, and you're trying to turn your head. And has anyone else done these? Anybody else done one or two of these? Anyone else had the same nonsensical experience that I did? And you're wondering are they lying to me? And they're pretending to see something, and they're describing some magical scene, and it has nothing to do with what's really there, and it's just some big practical joke. How many other things have you experienced like that in life? And you see some people, and it seems like they're looking at a different picture than you are. Mr. Pitt from Seinfeld. Hartley, I'm going to have to look that up. Danielle, she's kind of shaking everybody else off here. I always saw the picture. I'm good. Awesome, Danielle. I wasn't so talented. It legit took me months before I saw the first one. And I'm not normally someone that struggles to, I may have difficulty sometimes accepting certain truths that I've got to bash into my head because of things that I've learned. But normally something like this, come on. I mean, all you got to do is look at it and look at it differently, and you'll be able to pick it up. There's a section of people in this life that look at life differently, that look at business differently. They look at finance differently. They look at success differently. And you're sitting and staring at the exact same thing, and you're going, I can't see it. The 3D image ain't sticking out for me. I'm working, right? You were taught that you needed to work hard, and so, you got a job right out of high school. Or how many of you guys had a paper route when you were a kid or some kind of job like that to do work because that's what your parents needed to do, to teach you how to earn an honest living and get yourself to work and do stuff. And then when you start setting goals and you start doing different things, you think, all right, I'm just going to work a little bit harder. I'm going to do a little bit more. And we were talking a little bit about this yesterday with some of these ideas with money and the, 10,000, the 100K or 6 figures and setting goals that we struggle to reach simply because we've never accomplished them before. And we're looking at the 3D image in front of us, and that 3D image and what's really there behind the scenes is that financial security or financial freedom or the freedom of time or the ability to relax a little bit more and look at life a little bit differently. And we're going through and we're going, I don't know how the hell you did it. What's going on? What's broken inside of me oftentimes, whether we want to admit it or not, that's one of the things that we think. Why can't I see it? Or are they all just playing a practical joke on me? Right? Forrest, I picked up flowers and leaves from trees. Ernie, did you say your 14th birthday gift by request was a job? Oh, Danielle's saying that. Okay. Think about that. You requested a job. Now, obviously it was in order to earn money, but I mean, I remember when I was doing cleaning and restoration, and a lot of you guys know this, but I worked a lot of hours. My idea with money was I'm going to work more to earn more, but I'm going to spend less, right? So this was during a time at the beginning of my marriage, back in that, that other life that I lived. I worked my tail off, and I still work. It's not like I don't work now, but it was a different kind of thing, right? So I was traveling all over the state of Florida, Georgia, doing work, right? When hurricanes came through, we'd be up into Louisiana, and I would put in 10, 12, 16, 18, 20-hour days, sometimes more, and traveling all over, and one more building, few more square feet, one more project. What can we do here? And then saving every dime I could. There's living below your means, and then there's just being kind of silly, right? Like I would travel for the week with a bunch of cans of tuna and corn and beans and rice. And I would bring a rice cooker, and I would cook the rice, and then I would mix up a can of cold tuna, corn in the rice, and that's what I would eat in between while I was working. And if I spent a couple of dollars at the dollar menu at Taco Bell, I would get in trouble for it. It was just this crazy nonsense of my relationship with money and hard work and what success was. And it took breaking that down and looking at these images along with other people to help me see it differently. So here's the statement for you guys. It's easier, and some of you guys have heard this, I've said it before, and this comes from Dan Sullivan with Strategic Coach. It's easier to 10x your results than it is to 2x them. It's easier to achieve 10x results in life than it is to 2x. Now, what do you guys think of that statement? Because some of you are kind of nodding your head, some of you are kind of wide-eyed, and some of you are just scared to come on and call bullshit on me. So the question is, 2x versus 10x. Why is one easier than the other? This would be where some participation would be helpful. 80-20 rule. So that's part of it. 20% of your results come from 80%, or 80% of your results come from 20% of your focus, only by changing thinking and learning.
The easy road, the easy road out, you're just looking to get 20%, I can do it, not giving the full give or go, So, instead of saying, no, I'm going to do the 10X. So
yeah, well, the 10 is, it requires what a lot of you guys are saying. You got to think outside the box. Now, I want you to really imagine what this is, and we're going to walk through certain elements of this so that you can not just hear it and think of this as some kind of principle. I don't want you standing in front of the 3D 10X and me telling you that it's there without you being able to see it, right? Because knowing that it's there and seeing it are two different things. And our brains oftentimes aren't wired for that. Because some of you in the back of your head, even though you're saying, well, it does require a system and I got to do things differently, you're still thinking working that much more. A lot of you guys are working full time. A lot of you guys, when you hear a 40-hour, 45-hour work week, you kind of laugh and you go, that's part-time work. That's not full time. I wish that was all I worked. And so when we start looking at the 2X and 10X and you're adding all of these things in, now, here's the first thing that we're Xing. 2X, 10X. So 2 times this is your X, or the 10 times this is your X. These are some of the most common things that we look for, and just about everything else would fall under these categories. I'm looking to 10X my confidence. And I think confidence in this realm is it's a capability, but it's also something that can be tangible. Either a lack of or a development of confidence is something that is real, right? So confidence, revenue, profits, wealth, free time. Now, obviously the free time is going to go hand in hand. If you've got family, that would go there. Your health, fitness, energy levels, reputation, capabilities, client support technology connections, and then services or charities. So that could also be, I could put purpose in there when we start to make that shift from income to impact, and we're looking at those purposes and passions and what we're looking to help. So 2Xing versus 10Xing, where the X's are these items. Okay. So it's easier to 10X than it is to 2X, meaning if my income currently is 50 a year, or if my income is 100, really, it becomes easier to go after the 10X than it is just the 2. And there's a couple of things I want to kind of look at this. First off is you guys got to kind of put yourself in this place. Now, this comes again from the 10X Mind Expander book from Dan Sullivan. Totally giving credit to him. These principles are not strictly mine. They come from him, and I'm just kind of expounding on them for him. But so you start off in the past, at some point, you have already achieved some kind of 10X result from what you did in the past. So I want you to think about something that you used to do as a kid that you're 10 times better at now, or you've earned 10 times more. We look at that first job, picking up leaves, mowing lawns, the first job that Danielle asked for her 14th birthday, whatever it is, what's gotten you that 10X result, right? Yeah, for us, exactly. What is X going back to algebra? All right. Now, you've already in something done 10X. And so right now, this goes to some of the goals where a lot of times you guys say, well, I want to be reasonable. And we lower the goal based on mentally what we can comprehend with an unwillingness to look past it because we're scared of what that represents. We talked a little bit yesterday about that fear. Sometimes it's the fear of failure. Sometimes it's the fear of success. It's the fear of being ostracized by those that we love. Okay. The 2X is something that we can achieve, but yeah, that going into, Andrew's talking about the unknown, the unfamiliar, looking at that breakthrough. So here's how we kind of start to put this together. Now, first thing that you need to stretch is your visualization. Miracle Morning for Entrepreneurs talks about this. All over the place talks about this. And guys, some of you, can't wait to see the rest of this video. All right, Samuel, have a great day. Some of you are looking at this. I get oftentimes an argument from people that all they care about are the step-by-step. Just give me the basics and I'll rock and roll with it. Okay, guys, awesome. Go for it. Here's your list, right? Here's your employee handbook. Go be a good employee. Now, am I being flippant when I say that? For people that don't want to worry about mindset, and I realize you guys are here, so you're obviously interested in working on your mindset. So kudos to you. Congratulations. Congratulations on taking the first step, for crying out loud. Congratulations to some of you for getting to that strategy session, for doing the work to get yourself launched. I know some of you are still in the process of launching. Some haven't gotten to the strategy session yet. So congratulations on being here and taking some kind of action. But at this point, are we going to 2X? Are we going to 10X? Are we going to continue to develop this brain and our visualization muscles? Or are we going to focus on the job description that we need to launch? And some of you guys are going, well, it's not the job description for me. I'm running the business. Right. But you're the job owner, right? You're the employee. You're just your own employee. So if we're looking to start to 10X, we got to start to visualize beyond what I'm capable of doing with my own hands in my own time, right? This is that overall starting to shift from time for money into something that generates even when I don't have the time to be physically doing it. But it starts with your visualization. So you need to practice it. We need to stand in front of that 3D image, that 10X over and over and over and over and over again, and imagine what's possible. Ryan says, if I cling to the notion that something is not possible, I'm arguing in favor of limitation. Yep. If I argue for my limitations, I get to keep them. Absolutely. Who said that, Ryan? Because I quoted that just the other day on one of my calls. That's the exact quote that I put up there on one of my calls. Oh, from The Big Leap. There you go. Favorite book. There you go. So here we go. A lot of people stand in this, well, what's normal? What's reasonable? That's not ordinary, or, what you're talking about, Amanda, that's not normal. That's not normal for us. That's not normal for our family. Ray, what are you thinking? No one else you know has done that. Knock it off. some of you are willing to start to step through into what is extraordinary. Remember, you have already achieved that 10x in the past, right? So Ernie, I have a hard time visualizing. All I see is black and odd thoughts. Black and white is what you're saying? Well, look, again, it's a muscle. Visualization is a muscle. So at the beginning, it's hard. Because at the beginning, you think it's silly. Oh, a vision board? Oh, looking at pictures or images of travel or this house or that house or certain amount in my bank accounts. Write yourself a check. Edit out, do a Photoshop image of your own bank account with more money in it. Do something. Yeah, I'm talking about completely extreme and extravagant and weird things that don't make a lot of sense. And they're not going to help you make your first sale, right? And there's no guarantee in this life. But I will tell you that visualization is a muscle that you can develop that will help you move your efforts in a way that will allow you. Yep, Francis, that's a great quote. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Coming from a guy who had a little bit of imagination and people telling him he couldn't do things. So look, there's that 10x growth. Now, you start to filter out and you choose everything you undertake on the basis of a 10x payoff in your future. Is what I'm doing right now going to give me that result? Is this effort I'm putting in going to allow me to get this result? Is this focus? Is this Netflix show? Is me sitting down to eat at the buffet going to give me the 10x health that I'm looking for? Is this going to help me live longer? Is this going to help me do all of these things? Right? Yeah, Forrest, we are more visual, but to go, Ernie, to kind of where you're at, think about it. When you would walk into a construction project and you had to frame something out, you had an idea how that was going to look in the end. And then you had to start step by step to get there. Visualization doesn't remove the steps, but what it does is it gives you a broader sense of what's possible, and it starts to change the steps that you'll take. Because here's the thing. This goes to what was said earlier, right? Nobody can work 10x harder or longer. None of you guys can work from 40 hours to 400 hours. That's not going to be possible. I can't put in 10 times the amount of effort. I can't do it. It actually requires me to work less. It requires me to work smarter, not harder, but in a big, big way. In a big way. You've got to find ways and solutions. Now, our brains as humans are much more capable of finding some of those solutions than we give them credit for. The human brain is always going to look for the easiest way to do something. Always. We're going to seek out a manner in which we can accomplish something with the least amount of work possible. So if you've ever gotten on yourself because you're a little bit of a procrastinator, now's the time that you can put those things into effect. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to look for solutions, because ultimately that's one of the definitions of an entrepreneur. It's someone that finds a solution to problems that other people may not have realized. And each of you are doing that now with this partner program, and what you're stepping into inside the niche that you're looking for, you're finding solutions for those business owners. And the solutions that you happen to be providing is the support, help, and training, and possibly some service involved in helping them master their social media. You're becoming an entrepreneur because you're going to solve their problems. And in solving more of their problems, you're going to solve your own problems. So look for the easiest way to do it. Be willing to, and this is what we were talking about yesterday, honoring the struggle doesn't mean that I have to struggle. It means that there's going to be these ups and downs, and I'm going to get through, right? And I'm going to find a way to oil the squeaky wheel or create a better wheel, create a better mousetrap. You guys have that capability. And it just means I've got to be smarter about going about it. Now, where you're at to go 10x oftentimes will mean that you've got to do more and have more and be around more than what you currently have. Where you are currently at, you may have certain elements that will allow you to 10x, but you need to do some other things that will allow you to continue down that road. So one thing you need to do is you need to bypass the complications of the 2x. Okay. So if I go, I'm making 50, I want to make 100. Look, the 2x goal would involve doing the same things you're doing now. It's just I'm doing more of them. I'm spending more time on it, because that's how I 2x things. That's also how I frustrate myself, or I get overwhelmed, or I burn out. If you're struggling with overwhelm and burnout, it's often because you've set yourself up in a way that you're trying to do too much in too short a period of time. You've adjusted your expectations to think you've got to take everything on your shoulders. The 10X goal is what it's going to do is it's going to jump beyond that. It requires operating completely differently, and it changes the stress and complications. It modifies my path. So again, you can't work just harder. You can't work just longer and achieve what you're looking for. There has to be a transformation of your mental component so that you can start to build out exponentially where you're going. All right. There's the 2X complications, the 10X breakthroughs. Gotta love Dan Sullivan and his books. You've already grown 10X in multiple ways. Now we're looking to do the same thing. Think about where we're at. A lot of us with our business, we're kind of sitting in this lemonade stand kind of position. I'm not looking to just jump to that lawnmower stage. I want to go up and build something that's going to keep growing from there. So a couple of things that you need to 10X if you're looking to get there. Confidence. Your professional and personal confidence continually grows as your 10X commitment expands into all areas of your life. All right. So pop quiz for some of you guys that have been around for a little bit. What's the pathway to confidence? What is the pathway? What are the 5 C's of confidence? Confidence being the last one. But how many of you guys remember what this is? Either type it in or drop out here and chime in with me. It is confidence is a capability. Confidence is also it is something that can be tangible and can be developed. Courage is one of them, Michelle. How many of you guys remember this? Clarity. This pathway to confidence. Go ahead.
Clarity is one. Clarity
is number one. Yes, clarity. Courage, there's one in between clarity and courage. Competence is close. Capability is what I call it. They're all C's. So starts with clarity, then commitment, courage, capability, and confidence. Right? And then I added one after confidence. Does anybody remember what that was? See, sometimes I share these insights and I forget to write them down myself. But it starts with a clear vision of what you want to achieve. And then we get into consistency. All right, so for us, here we go. Clarity, commitment, courage, challenge. There you go, Patricia. Courage, capability, confidence, and then challenge yourself again. That's what it was. So now I've got 6 in there. So again, if you want to build up your confidence, this is that pathway. And if we're looking at 10X it means we have to do it over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah, the vision board, change the background on your computer, put some stuff on your phone, do whatever you need to create that. For me, part of it is because I am visual. I like the images. So I've got some images, but I also like writing things down. And maybe Ernie, that goes with the black and white that you like. For any of you, then write it out. Every single day I write out where I'm going and where my 10X goals are. Now, the 10X doesn't necessarily mean that it's 10X within a year, right? I'm not setting a timeline that it's got to happen in 12 months, but I've got a plan to 10X where I'm at. I will tell you that I've done from when I started with cleaning and restoration, that first year, right? How much I was getting paid monthly. I've gone beyond that 10X, right? So annually, or what I was paid monthly there, we've done that. What the annual has turned into a monthly. So now you keep growing on that, right? So now I go, okay, so here's where I'm at now. Now I need a 10X again. And how do I get there? Well, so there's a couple of keys. So first is that confidence. One of the first things is the confidence. Next is going to be your network, your team, or your community, whatever we want to call it. Those that are around you. Okay? The relationships are going to be key. If you've got people that struggle to see even the 2X, you're never going to get to the 10X. And what I hope that we start to create here is a community that is living with a 10X vision, that can walk up to those 3D images and go, I got it. Where if Ryan says, hey, this is my 10X vision of where I want to get to, every single one of you guys can envision it and cheer him on and congratulate and support, and then push yourselves to that same level. And there's not a feeling of jealousy and going, why isn't this happening for me? Because if you have any shred of that left, guys, when you hear other people succeed, I'm going to tell you your 10X journey is going to be difficult. Because if I'm jealous of someone else getting there, that means I'm worried about someone else being jealous of me, and I'm tripping myself up. So your community, the team, your network is going to be essential for that 10X journey. Your confidence is going to be essential. And the way that we increase that confidence, we just went through that process, but a lot of that are those small little wins that we have because we're committed and we act. Technology is one of those elements. The right systems, the right pieces in place. Now, sometimes people make up part of that technology, right? It's leverage is what we're looking for here. The technology, systems, and people that allow us to leverage what's necessary in order to get to the 10X. Because leverage is the only way we can accomplish that. Yeah, celebrate everybody's win. All right. So competition is also a great way to build confidence, build yourself to be better. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my challenge for you. I want you to sit down. I want you to think about some 10X goals that you can have, a 10X vision. What can you do to begin to shift your vision from where it currently stands to a 10X vision? Now, a vision board without figuring out how the hell to get there doesn't mean anything. A 10X goal, if you're telling me, oh, my goal is 500,000 down the road, or it's this level of health, or it's this much time with my family, or it's being able to help these charities have this purpose going on. It's increasing, my exposure to whatever crowd, all of those elements. If you have that 10X goal, you have your vision board and all of this is set up, but you're not thinking about what changes you need to make mentally and emotionally and the people around you and the systems that are in place and what you're doing, then something's missing. And if you're thinking that how you're going to do that is you're going to start posting 10 times as much. Well, now I'm going to post on 100 accounts a day instead of 10. Guys, then you're missing the point. 10X is possible, but you need to start flexing and exercising that muscle. So here's what's going on. Some of you are participating here, and then you're reading and you're taking action, and I applaud you for it. Some of you are kind of struggling with that. Little things like I'm asking you guys to send me some ads, send me your captions, send me your questions. Whether it's about that or not, guys, use my email, Andrew@BlakeNewbar. If you've got a question about running your business, hit me up with it. The purpose of these calls is to help you develop your mindset and your skill set. I'm going to have some guests over the course of the next few weeks talking with Blake about how to do that and who we're going to bring on and what we're going to do. And we want to develop more and more content for you guys to just continue to lift you and your skills and your brains and everything else. But you've got to push and look for that 10X. And send me something. Because I'll tell you, if you start pushing for that 10X, those opportunities will knock, just like Lisa's talking about. You're going to get connected with people that go, hey, I want to take them under my wing because this is the journey I want to go on. Doors start to open. You start to get connected to people that you never imagined. Because I promise you, years ago when I was cleaning carpets, I didn't think I'd be sitting down every day training, dozens of people about marketing. When I started that very first website doing Disney stuff and I sold $43 in revenue, I wasn't thinking, this is what I'm going to make work for my life. I'm going to do this forever. I'm going to talk my fiance into doing it with me. I'm going to build a business for my kids. I was thinking, why in the hell can't I even sell Mickey Mouse? I had to change the way that I was thinking. Guys, the biggest difference between where you're at and where someone that's doing the 100K or the million or the 500 or whatever is just a couple of zeros. It's a few more clients. It's a little bit more work. It's a better network of individuals. That's it. That's it. Okay. Keep building yourselves and start expanding that 10x muscle, and let's get you going. So on that note, figure out where your 10x is, figure out what you need to do to rise up from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. So if you need to go build a vision board, then damn it, go build it. Sit down and write some 10x goals. Figure out what that looks like for you. Create that map I've done before, and maybe we'll talk soon about networks again. Create a map of who you want in your power network, people that you really want to associate with to help you lift yourself up. Start building that out. Okay. I ask you guys, please, send me, let me pause this. And on that note, for everybody, if you want to bolt, that's totally cool.